go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone. I'm Nick Ross, a program manager here at PACE. I usually work behind the scenes to keep our programs running smoothly, but today I'll be front and center guiding you through this info session on our accounting and finance program. I've also got my colleague, Calvin Yaskowitz, a fellow PACE program manager, producing the webinar. He'll be off camera handling the technical side of things and helping to answer questions in the chat. And I'm getting a note from Nick Kunch. Nick Kunch, I see you. You are here. You are still on mute right now. Hold on, let me unmute you. Nick Kunch, you should be able to speak now.
And I cover you. Hi, Professor Bill.
Great.
All right, coming in loud and clear.
Okay. Nick Kunch, we'll get to the Q&A session in a little bit. Does that sound okay?
Sounds great.
Okay. So again, we're glad you're here, whether you're looking to advance your career, switch fields, or explore new skills. This session will give you the info you need. We do have a lot to cover, but don't worry, I'll make sure that we use our time wisely to show you how this program can help you reach your goals. So let's go ahead and dive in. So here's what we're covering today. First, I'll give you an overview of PACE's accounting and finance programs, what they offer, who they're designed for, and how they can help you build your career in accounting. Next, we'll hear from Bill Corrales, one of our superhero instructors, and Kunch Bafsar, a current student. Bill will share his perspective on the program, his approach to teaching, and how he helps students tackle complex accounting topics. Nikunj will give us insights into his experience in the program and how it's helping him build his skills. Real fast, Nikunj, do you prefer Nikunj or Nick?
Let's make it easier for everybody and go by Nick.
Okay, all right. Well, then there's two Nicks on the call today. Me and
We can do Nick B.
Okay, sounds good. Finally, we'll wrap up with a Q&A session, so keep your questions handy. We want to make sure you leave with all the information you need. By the end of our session, my goal is for you to walk away with a clear understanding of what PACE's accounting and finance programs offer, both the big picture and the details that matter to you most. So let's kick things off with an overview of PACE's accounting and finance programs. Here are the key topics covered in our business and professional accounting programs. Financial and intermediate accounting covers foundational accounting concepts, transaction recording, and financial reporting. You can think of this as the building blocks of accounting, understanding how money moves and how business track their financial health. Financial statement analysis teaches you how to interpret financial documents and assess business performance. It's all about reading between the lines of financial reports to spot trends, risks, and opportunities. Managerial accounting focuses on accounting for internal decision-making, budgeting, and cost management. This is where accounting meets strategy, helping businesses plan for the future and make data-driven decisions. In short, it's all about making smart, business law and ethics provides an understanding of legal requirements and ethical standards impacting business decisions. In short, it's all about making smart financial choices while staying on the right side of the law. And auditing principles explores the fundamentals of auditing, including standards, processes, and ethical responsibilities. This is where you learn how to check the numbers, ensure accuracy, and maintain trust in financial reporting. These topics provide knowledge and skills that are directly applicable to careers in accounting, helping you build confidence in the field. So our program benefits. These programs are designed to help you gain career-ready accounting skills for advancement. Whether you're starting out or looking to take the next step in your career, you'll develop the technical expertise and problem-solving skills that employers are looking for. You'll apply knowledge through real-world scenarios that go beyond textbook learning. Our courses emphasize hands-on experience, so you'll work through real financial challenges, from preparing reports to ensuring compliance. You'll learn from industry experts and stay ahead with AI tools. Our instructors bring years of experience into the classroom, and they are already integrating AI-driven accounting processes into their courses because today's accountants need to know how to work with automation and emerging technology. Finally, you'll expand your professional network. You'll connect with instructors, peers, and accounting professionals, opening doors to mentorship, job opportunities, and career growth. Let's go over some of the key features of our programs. We offer flexible evening classes for working professionals, making it easier to balance education with your job, family, and other commitments. PACE provides multiple learning formats: online, live, asynchronous, and online blended. I'll go over these options in more detail in a moment, but the goal is to let you choose the learning experience that fits your schedule best. You can take individual courses or complete a full certificate. Whether you're looking to sharpen a specific skill or earn a certificate to boost your resume, these programs offer a flexible path to meet your goals. Our website is the main resource for all information about our accounting and finance programs. I encourage you to explore the site for more specifics, including what skills you'll get out of the program and each course, faculty bios, and student success stories. But let's take a quick look at one of the most important parts of our site, our courses chart. So this chart is your roadmap to earning a certificate, outlining the required courses, when they're offered, and in what formats. The example you see here is from our business accounting program. All our courses are fully online with 3 flexible formats to fit different learning styles and schedules. Online Live means you'll attend virtual classes in real time, interacting directly with instructors and classmates. Asynchronous courses let you learn on your own schedule, but not on your own. Instructors provide recorded lectures, interactive discussions, office hours, and assignments at the start of each week with work due by the end of the week. This structure gives you flexibility while keeping you connected to your instructor and peers. Online Blended combines both formats, offering real-time interaction for some scheduled online live sessions and the convenience of asynchronous learning for others. For example, Intermediate Accounting 2 is asynchronous this spring, meaning you can complete coursework on your own time while following weekly deadlines. You can confirm this by clicking on the course in our registration system. And a fun fact for today, Intermediate Accounting 2 is taught by Bill Corrales this term. Not only is he here today as a panelist, but he's also a superhero instructor. Literally, he's voiced Green Lantern in animated projects. So if you take his class, you'll gain expert accounting knowledge and maybe even some heroic insights along the way. And I can't wait to hear Bill's Green Lantern voice soon. All right, let's talk pricing. We are, after all, in an accounting and finance session. So for the business accounting certificate, each course is $685 for the public, with the full program costing about $4,200. UCSB students get a 25% discount, lowering the per course price to around $515 and the total to just over $3,100. For the professional accounting certificate, the pricing is the same per course, $685 for the public. But since this program requires more courses, the total comes to about $6,250. With the UCSB student discount, that drops the per course price to about $515, bringing the total to around $4,700. International rates vary, so check with the website for more accurate pricing. We also offer payment flexibility, so you can pay per course rather than all at once. And since we're all about financial literacy, don't forget to check if your employer offers tuition assistance. You never know when your boss might want to invest in your accounting superpowers. On our website, we've got the academic calendar posted, but here's a quick look at the key dates for the rest of 2025. Our spring quarter runs from March 31st to June 13th. If you're ready to start soon, this is your next chance to enroll. Summer session runs from June 23rd to September 13th. Fall quarter runs from September 21st to December 12th. Self-enrollment stays open until 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the second business day after the first class session. So let me give you an example of that. If a class starts on a Thursday, then enrollment stays open through Monday night. And spring quarter is right around the corner, so register now to secure your spot. That's the abbreviated Cliffs Notes version of our website, but there's more to explore. So be sure to check out the FAQ section for questions or for quick answers to common questions, details about tuition and financial options. You might also find it helpful to look at the program highlights page to see how each certificate can boost your career. And feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions after scrolling through it. Now let's get to the highlight of today's session, hearing directly from an expert in the field and one of our very own PACE instructors, Bill Corrales. We'll also hear from Nick Bafsar, a student who is using PACE to build on his already considerable skills as an accountant. So let's meet PACE instructor Bill Corrales. Let me formally introduce you to our superhero instructor, aka Bill K, the CPA. Bill's a CPA with over 10 years of experience in the accounting world, covering everything from tax compliance to auditing, and even developing curriculum for future CPAs. He's also taught at some of the top finance programs like the University of Tampa Flagler College, and of course here at PACE. His students appreciate how he makes even the trickiest accounting topics feel manageable and sometimes even fun. Right now, Bill spends part of his days at Becker Professional Education, where he's part of the team behind those all-important CPA exam prep materials. But as I mentioned before, when Bill isn't being an accounting expert, he's got a creative side too. He is a voice actor. He's played Green Lantern in superhero animation projects. So yes, by day, he's guiding future accountants, maybe using a green lantern to illuminate the way. And by night, or maybe on weekends, he's saving the universe. Not many CPAs can say that. So bravo, Bill.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
trying to fight crime, whether it's fraud or if it's something else. So yeah, that'll work.
great. Great. So I'd like to bring Bill into the conversation to share his perspective as one of our outstanding instructors in the accounting and finance program at PACE. So Bill, let's start with the big picture. What, in your view, makes the PACE accounting and finance program so unique, and how does it prepare students to tackle the challenges of today's ever-evolving accounting and finance landscape?
Well, that's a good question. Thanks for having me on board today, Nick. So when it comes to the PACE program, we're very unique. My goal here, at least with the PACE program, is for students to learn at their own pace, pardon the pun. Non-traditional students, they're going to require non-traditional solutions. So to do that, I'll use another pun here, I'm trying to change the pace with how my courses are built. Now, with the accounting and finance framework, whether you're running a business, working with different teams, or if you're pursuing a career as a CPA, it's crucial to have some kind of foundation in accounting. Accounting is the language of business, and that's really what our courses are designed to teach you on. I mean, you can't just think of it as numbers all the time. Accounting is a language, and that's the approach that we're trying to take with our foundational courses, intermediate two. Now, the accounting standards, they're constantly changing, so we're working with the most current versions of materials from publishers to make sure that students are prepared if they do want to get into the industry, or if they're currently in the industry, knowing what the most recent changes are to some of these areas. So, our PACE program accounting courses, they're going to be designed to meet the needs of folks that need that foundational background, especially if your ultimate goal is to work in accounting or ultimately earn your CPA license. So I'm here to help. My background is already in CPA exam prep. So if I could tie it in with any insight to what's on the exams, I'm happy to do so. But a lot of our courses are built around what's expected on those representative tasks that you would see in that AI CPA blueprint on the CPA exam. So that's the beauty of it. It's pretty pretty well done with our materials. And currently we're working with McGraw-Hill with these first few courses. And as we change things around, as we get more advanced, I may pull some strings and work to get students access to Becker's materials for a trial run as well. So it's a course by course basis. But yeah, that's kind of laying the foundation of what makes, I guess, this PACE program unique. With non-traditional students, we require non-traditional solutions, and that's the approach we're taking.
Thanks so much, Bill. I also appreciate you mentioning your involvement with all of the instructional work around the CPA exam. I think that speaks to one of our programs, real aims is to make sure that this can be practical for students. And I know that the CPA exam is definitely part of that. So I appreciate your efforts to make sure that our program is keeping pace with the environment out there.
Absolutely. And if you don't mind me adding, it doesn't just stop at the CPA exam. There's so many different certifications that this foundational work will prepare you for, whether you want to pursue your CIA certification as a certified internal auditor. And that sounds really cool, right? To be a CIA. I mean, it seems pretty legit. CMA, right? Your certified management accounting certification. And the AICPA is putting out a whole bunch of new certifications as well. There's some IT related accounting certifications. Like, the opportunities are endless. Of course, the CPA is the big one, but you got so many others. And the beauty of these courses are that even if you don't want to be a CPA, this work that we're going through is still applicable to all these other certifications. So across the board, we're providing that value to get you prepared. If you decide one day, hey, I want to be a CMA or a CIA, it opens up all kinds of doors.
Great. Thanks for speaking about all the different courses that we offer. Let's transition to talking about one specific course. You're currently teaching intermediate accounting here at PACE. Can you tell us a bit about the key concepts in that course and how you guide students through more advanced accounting topics?
Absolutely. So our intermediate accounting course, it's designed to dive into a multitude of topics. So starting from our financial statements through more complex transactions. So a large portion of our content in this current course that I'm teaching, it handles the treatment of key balance sheet items, such as inventory, long-term assets, and intangibles. There's a lot of nuances there with different transactions, and we spend a lot of time in our discussions exploring those, making sure that we understand what the generally accepted accounting principles are for those prospective transactions. Now, the approach I've been using is a bit unique. Rather than long-winded lectures like I would typically do for one of my in-person courses, and I know my students at University of Tampa are very upset when I'm going on and on for 2 hours, but I like this approach better because what we do, and I know Nick can attest to it, we break things out into smaller bite-sized chunks. So these micro lectures that I'm putting out there, it makes it easier for students to understand exactly what we're covering rather than posting broader topics that are much longer, where students either are falling asleep during it or are just more apt to maybe not remember exactly where a certain topic was covered when they're going in and doing their assignments or going in and preparing for a quiz or preparing for an exam. So yeah, on top of that, we have discussion board posts each week where we, have discussions with one another, exploring some of those content areas, providing your insight, providing your thoughts. And it really, I think, drives that, really the wheels to start turning. It's one thing to be talked at with a lecture. It's one thing to answer a few questions in a homework assignment, but it's another thing to actually think about it and discuss it with your peers. And I think that adds a lot of additional value that I feel like most traditional courses may be lacking, compared to what we're trying to do here in a course like intermediate accounting. Now, my little side goal that I try to do anytime I teach a course, at least now, this is the first time I've done it, and now I think I'm hooked. It's to provide a unique experience to students to learn key concepts. And one of the ways I've done that is through the development of a video game. It's a very unconventional matter, I'm not very good at programming video games just yet. And I know, Nick could attest because I know he went through the video game earlier in this course, but it's a way for you to remember things that maybe you wouldn't otherwise remember if you were just watching lectures. So it's something that I want to do for future courses. It's something that I think students will respond well to. And it's something to help you remember when it's time for you to understand these concepts. So yeah, whole bunch of stuff going on in intermediate accounting. Some fun, maybe some not as fun, but across the board, I think we're learning what we need to set that foundation.
Sure. I appreciate you sort of highlighting the efforts that you've made to take an asynchronous format, which can have a reputation for students feeling kind of alone and in their own little bubbles there because you're not online live, and the ways that you've used discussion boards to build a sense of community and create custom video games to make sure that things still feel fun. There is a little bit of technology involved in custom video games. I assume that we'll get to a point where we can just ask ChatGPT to bring our concepts to life in the forms of video games and a myriad of other, desires we might have. So I did want to, that's my awkward segue into talking about
like
AI. So AI has been transforming industries, and accounting and finance are no exception. How do you see AI reshaping the profession from auditing to financial reporting? And what opportunities do you think it creates for today's students?
See, we're finding more and more case studies for AI being used in accounting. I would say when it was first, coming out and being utilized, I don't think accountants really knew what to do with it. Now we're seeing a lot more use cases. Now, in the audit profession in particular, we're seeing AI being used to identify different patterns in data that could be indicative of potential issues and may point auditors in the right direction for them to identify potential financial statement misstatements or maybe be a red flag for fraud. For managerial accounting purposes now, we're starting to see that AI can help organize and summarize data. If you got a whole bunch of raw data in a spreadsheet, for example, we could use AI even built into Excel to summarize that data to maybe identify different trends and hopefully facilitate more meaningful decisions for managers. So I'm hoping to incorporate more AI methodologies in future iterations of my accounting courses because I think there's a lot of potential areas, especially when it comes to compiling financial information, complying with GAAP. AI can be a tool that can be utilized, across the board, but we're seeing so many different use cases in different nuanced segments of accounting, and I feel like as the years go by, it's going to play more and more of a role in the profession. And I mean, it is the first and foremost thing that the AICPA has been talking about is first of all data and analytics, and then now the incorporation of AI. So if the AICPA is on top of it, then so do we as folks in the profession and students that are trying to learn more about accounting. So yeah, there's a lot to expect in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. As somebody who's on a task force within PACE to develop AI programs, not just in accounting and finance, but some of the other programs that we've had, I can attest to the fact that these things are not, changing by the year; they're changing by the minute. It is a challenge and a fun one to keep up with.
So I'm wondering, can you do AI programming to help me get hair? Like, is that something we could do, or is that just technology's not ready yet? Because I got to get over this bald thing.
As soon as this is over, I will ask ChatGPT, and I'm sure it'll tell me exactly how you can get hair.
Okay, perfect.
Maybe not in real life, but definitely when you come on a Zoom call like this.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, bald and beautiful, Bill. Bald and beautiful.
Yeah, that's right.
So let me ask you a little bit about what you find most rewarding about teaching at PACE. Is there a specific moment or student success story that stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's just been overall a rewarding, process to go through these courses with the PACE program, and I think because it allows that exceedingly high level of flexibility to learning that you don't normally see with other programs. A lot of times you're on a very strict regimen, you're on a strict schedule, and I could see the students responding more positively and differently in that manner, being in that more flexible environment. But the thing that I really like the most is that I really get that opportunity to work with students in different time zones in different parts of the world. And through that asynchronous design of the course, I'm able to ensure that each student does get the opportunity to learn, any necessary content each week, regardless of where in the world they're located. And to me, I find that awesome that my role here is truly international, and you can't really say that about a lot of other work that if you're teaching at a local college or university, you don't really get that same exposure that you do with the PACE program. So I've been excited to learn more about each of my students, where they're from, and it was kind of mind blowing to see where everyone is. And for me, being on the East Coast, and I could have somebody over in France, it's a wild experience. It really is. And it's great to see, just the success and seeing the students understand the content, reflecting that in their coursework. That's about as rewarding as it gets.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing about sort of the global reach of PACE programming and how, this world of online education opens up pathways to folks to access education when they might not have been able to. So I do just want to get your take on, finally, for those considering joining PACE's accounting and finance program, what advice would you give them to help them make the most of the experience and for successful careers?
Yeah, I mean, the best advice I could give, and this is even across the board for any student, is to do one thing: adapt. Don't ever be afraid to change and innovate. Don't be afraid of change and innovation. Even if a field that seems rooted in its ways, like accounting and finance, you would think, there's constantly new changes, constantly new innovation, and it's driving so much of the professional development in the industry. So don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to adapt to those changes. So anyone who can adapt to those changes, well, they put themselves in a much better position to succeed, whether it's in the classroom or if it's in their professional career. So I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for all these changes and all these opportunities to adapt to a completely new environment. And I could see that happening more and more frequently, especially for young professionals and students these days. It's definitely something that you want to keep to the forefront of your mind.
Well, wise advice from Bill Kay, the CPA, not only for education, for careers, but also just life in general. Be willing to adapt. All right, Bill Kay, the CPA, before we move on to hearing from our student, Nick B., is there anything else you'd like prospective students to know about the program or the field of accounting and finance in general?
Yeah, just a few quick things. I mean, obviously, I mentioned a few of the other types of certifications earlier that you could get. It's beyond just becoming a CPA. It could be, CMA, CIA, an EA, like an enrolled agent. There's so many different certifications. But accounting is a lot more than just working at a CPA firm or working in the back office of a business crunching numbers. Most executives in major organizations and even medium to small size organizations, they have a strong accounting background, whether they majored in it or just took them as supplemental courses throughout their career, either while in school or professionally. So whether you want to get into accounting or business in general, it's definitely worth taking accounting courses to understand how to not just prepare, but to read financial statements and make better data-driven decisions. It's only going to help your business or help whatever business you're working with. Now, I want to leave a parting note for anyone, because I know we have a lot of folks in California who are interested in sitting in for that CPA exam. There are some educational requirements in order to be eligible to take the exam. And in California, it's 120 semester hours or 180 quarter hours. So you would need those to meet those requirements. And part of that would be 24 hours of accounting credits or 24 hours of business credits when you're doing semester hours, and then 36 quarter hours of accounting and 36 quarter hours of business to be eligible to then sit to take your CPA exam. So once you meet that eligibility, hey, the ball's in your court. Feel free to start sitting for the exam and start trying to knock out those sections. I waited a little bit long. I waited until I got out of school. That was a huge mistake, and it took me a lot longer to get my bearings and be ready to take it. I should have just taken it while I was in school. So, that's my biggest professional regret, was waiting as long as I did to go back for my CPA. But anyway, yeah, that's a lot of like the big rundown I wanted to give, and I appreciate y'all, having me on and going through some of these topic areas, and I'll be happy to answer any questions after Nick's portion.
Great. Thank you so much, Bill. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll get some questions for you after our next segment, which is meeting a PACE student, Nick B. So let me introduce you to Nick, a dedicated student in our PACE program who is taking his accounting expertise to the next level. Nick holds a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance, giving him a strong foundation in financial principles and industry practices. Now he's expanding his expertise through coursework, deepening his knowledge in key accounting areas and preparing for future career opportunities. With hands-on experience in financial analysis and auditing, he's already applying his skills in professional settings, and PACE is helping him refine and strengthen those abilities. Nick values career growth in accounting, and his time in our program is a key step in building the expertise and credentials to reach his goals. His journey reflects the drive and ambition we see in so many of our students, taking charge of their professional development and seizing opportunities to advance in the field. And as Bill is messaging me now, Nick is in his class and is an absolute rock star. Nick, let's get a little bit of your perspective. Can you tell me what made you choose PACE's accounting program? And hold on a sec, you're on mute, so let me ask you to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thanks, Nick.
Sorry, I'm literally gonna be talking low because I'm in the office and I got an EY audit going on, so I'm gonna keep it really low. So I'm busy with work and attending this meeting. So yes, reason behind me choosing this PACE accounting program is it's almost been a decade that I've been out of school. So this is kind of just refreshing everything, going back to the school to now, because my goal is to get a CPA license starting next year. So this is something that I want to start out with the basic PACE accounting program that UCSB has to offer. So I can refresh myself the basic and then can jump into the CPA program.
It's great to hear. Go ahead, Nick. Did you want to add?
I think that was it for the question number one that I wanted to add. It's just made me focusing on to growing my career and then jump into more accounting firm to a CPA level, because one of my future goals is that me and my wife would both have an accounting background. So we want to open up our accounting firm in the future, accounting office. So this is something that will lead me to that, from starting out from the basic to the higher level that I want to get to.
Yeah, so I appreciate you sharing that career goal with you. Can you share an example or a skill or concept that you've learned in Bill's class that's been especially useful for your career goals?
Definitely, yes. So it's currently I work at a Santa Barbara, one of the healthcare company up here in North in California, and I'm an actual accountant. And what I normally do and what I can apply that class to my work is that I definitely improve my skills into general entries. I know it's most basicest thing you can think of when it comes to accounting when but that has definitely made me much improvement on my ledger accounts and journal entries. So something that I was making mistake um, before taking this course that has drastically has made me change what I'm doing in my career right now.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that.
And Professor Bill is like, he's a rock star as well. He's been answering every question that I have for him or supporting anything. I try to not to bombard him with too many questions, but he's been rock star and always got back to my emails pretty quick.
Got it. I appreciate that. Can you give us some insight into the video game that he created or any of the other innovative teaching practices that he's been using?
I like how he has his weekly assignment set up for all his students. I think that's the best. There's also another course that I'm taking through this PACE accounting program, which is accounting of principles. But me comparing, I'm not trying to compare two professors, but Professor Bill has made much easier assigning the work on a weekly base, and way he's putting down his lecture into the 10-15 minutes of the video instead of putting all 2 hours into the one lecture. And then that personally, it doesn't work for me because it overwhelms me. because there is like 2 hours of lecture. I had to just sit there, listen, take notes and stuff. But with the Professor Bill, he has broken it down into 10-15 minute video clips. And that really helps me for the each section where I can take my time to take notes and then go back, review it if I need to, and then move on to the next section.
Absolutely. That's sound teaching pedagogy and just kind of
Right.
logical a logical way to set up your classes for an engaging learning experience. So thanks for highlighting that, Nick. I think, you know, most importantly from your perspective as a student, is there any advice that you would give to someone considering this program?
Definitely, I would highly recommend it. As like what Professor Bill said a moment ago, doesn't matter what background you come from. This is something that accounting is really needed on our everyday life. It's either basic or higher. It depends what you need for. But I would highly suggest that people would take this course and you know what I mean. It just basically help people take this course and be at actual real world experience. I mean, what I'm trying to make a point is that we need accounting. We need the numbers in our life every day. It's either your personal life, your work life, or just whatever it is. Either you're going into the accounting field or not, you need the basic accounting for you to grow in your life. You need to understand the basic knowledge of accounting. Either you're going to go buy a car, or you're going to go buy a house. You need to know what you're trying to put that numbers into and what the words are meant.
That's perfect. I really appreciate it, Nick. I am a program manager at Pace. I do not specialize in accounting, but between what Bill's shared today and what you just said, I think I'm going to enroll in our accounting courses immediately, especially buying a new car. I've got something like that on the horizon. Nick, before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience in the program?
Honestly, it's been great. Like I said, I'm taking 2 courses this fall semester. Is this fall? Yeah, I think so. And then I'm going to be taking 2 more spring semester. And then there's a total of 24 units. I'm going to take another 8 units next starting March and March to June, which is going to be intermediate accounting 2 and managerial accounting. That's something I'm looking forward to. So, like I said, it's a great program that UCSB has put up. Even like I said, I graduated with the business and accounting finance degree, but it's been a decade, so it has definitely refreshed my memories and helps me grow. And it's gonna get me where I wanted to go, which is get my CPA license, like Professor Bill.
Great. Thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate you taking taking the time to share a student's perspective.
Yeah. And Nick, and when you start your CPA firm, you know, don't forget about the little people, okay? So just all right.
No, we're not. I was actually gonna reach out to you regarding to that. What steps should I be taking? And I live in California, so I know each state has a little bit of a difference of CPA courses, program, and exams and stuff. So, and actually, I did give it a try a couple of years ago, which I didn't pass. But this is a second try that I will be given.
Well, I think with Bill as your instructor, who's also, you know, creating parts of the CPA exam, I hope that you're being more successful the second time around. And
Maybe he can give me some cheat sheet inside the.
Yeah, it's funny. I wish I knew what they do. The AICPA keeps it all under cloak, you know, behind
Right.
closed doors. We do the best with what we can, but we see with Becker especially, students are doing very well, you know, beyond what you see the published pass rates as, which is a huge testament to the materials for that. So highly recommend it. Not doing a Becker plug, but well, I guess kind of am. So what are you gonna do?
well, and also Bill and Nick, this is obviously being recorded and will be posted to our website. When it's offline, Nick, I'm sure that Bill can give you a cheat sheet on the answers when it's not being recorded. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, so I do want to move on to a chance for the audience to hear from our panelists and from ourselves. So this is the Q&A session, your chance to ask Bill, Nick, or me any questions you have. First, I'll start with some FAQs and then we'll open it up for your questions. So to get us started, let me just share a few frequently asked questions that we get. First, what are the prerequisites for the program? There are no formal prerequisites, but each program is designed with a specific audience in mind. For example, the business and accounting program is ideal for detail-oriented individuals with a strong sense of numbers, accuracy, and ethics. If you're analytical and reliable, this program builds a solid foundation in accounting. The professional accounting program is best for general accountants looking to advance or those needing coursework for the California CPA exam. It provides advanced skills for financial decision-making and leadership in a global industry. Nick touched on this a little bit, but can I complete the program while working full-time? Absolutely, 100% yes. Our courses are offered online live and asynchronously, making them flexible for working professionals. You can fit classes into your schedule without putting your job on hold, as you can see with Nick chiming in from his work desk. And how long does it typically take to finish the program? So most students can complete the program, their certificate, in about a year, but it's completely flexible. You can go at your own pace, taking fewer courses per quarter, or completing it more quickly if your schedule allows. So now, if you have any questions about the program, now's your chance to ask away. Go ahead and drop your questions in the chat and we will start answering them. And if we have done such a thorough job at covering things.
Well, 'cause I was going to answer the question about my hair regimen, but I mean, I guess I missed that one in the chat.
Okay, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. Oh, here we go. We got one. So one question from, I believe it's Julie. Can we pass or no pass the courses? That's question number one. Julie, I just want to make sure I'm correct on this, but I believe that you are taking, given that you're taking the course for credit and towards a certificate, then you do actually need a grade for the program. So there's no pass or no pass option. Question number two is, I saw only 4 courses. How does it come up to 24 quarter units? Do you mind specifying which program you are looking at for 4 quarters? I'm bringing those up right now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So the business accounting program I'm looking at right now. Hold on one second. The business and accounting program, there are 6 courses. And for the professional accounting program, there are 8 courses, 30 units. So I think if you're looking at a total of 24 units, then you're talking about the business accounting program. And there are actually, if you look on our website right now, there are actually 6 courses for that. So that's how it comes up to 24 units, 6 courses, 4 units per course. And when does application open? Application is open right now. You can go to our website and start signing up for courses today. There's no application process. There's just signing up for courses. Any other questions coming in?
Nick, I just wanted to throw something out for this, everybody. The question regarding to like, how can I complete the program while working full time? I know everybody has their different things going on in their own life and different way of working for everybody. But personally, I can throw my experience out is that was one of the things that I thought, because I'm in salary, so I had to work some days 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. It all depends on my workload. So I had myself pretty much schedule set out for this amount of hours that I'm going to put for my program. So what I was doing was Monday and Tuesday, I was putting at least 3 hours a day, so I can read and I can do my assignments and my quizzes, and that was putting about total 6 hours on each course a week, and I was able to completely finish my discussions, my homework, quizzes. So 2 to 3 hours on reading and stuff, and then 2 to 3 hours on my assignments. And like I said, I put only 6 hours a week, and I was able to do good. And I'm doing pretty well in the class. I think I got high 90 percentage right now overall. So it all depends on each person, but I would say it's doable. It's not asking you to put like a whole week in it or 40 hours a week. All you need is a good 4 or 5 hours and 6 hours. You could put a focus on it and get it out the way.
Thanks so much for sharing that insider's perspective, Nick. That's great. So I'm seeing another question come in. 6 courses in total is $3,800. In referencing our program page, the estimated certificate cost is $4,200. So a little bit more than 3,800. So again, I'm not the accountant on this call, but individual courses cost $685. So multiply that by 6 and you've got 4,205 with just some additional fees. So that's your estimate for the entire program. Let me just see, I see another question. For an engineer with no background in accounting, where do you start? You would start with the Intro to Accounting course, or excuse me, it's called Principles of Financial Accounting. And that would give you the financial footing, or the footing that you would need to move forward through either the business accounting program or the professional accounting program. For both of those programs, Principles of Financial Accounting is the recommended course to start, and that is offered every quarter year round. So you can start on that anytime. And then let's see. So sorry, I'm going to read this aloud. Julie asks, you'll be enrolled in a few different courses. So there's 6 courses. Is there additional 2 courses other than these? Julie, I believe you're looking at professional accounting, which is different than business accounting. So we have a couple different certificates that we offer within accounting. Calvin, if you wouldn't mind, can you post a link to the professional accounting and then to the business accounting pages in the chat? I think that'll help Julie out. Let's see, any other questions here? Let me make sure we got Ruben's question answered. And then Julie, we've got your question answered. And that's going to be posted in the chat for you. We'll also follow up this call with an email to anybody who attended with a link to the recording and an invitation to ask us any follow-up questions. Any more questions? We're coming up on 1 o'clock, so I want to make sure that we respect everybody's time. If you have any more questions, though, we're here to answer them for you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move into next steps. So we're coming to the end of today's session, but before we wrap up, I want to walk you through some next steps. So if you want to explore more about what we covered today, visit the PACE Accounting and Finance website. You'll find details on courses, schedules, and how to get started. It's a great resource to check out on your own time. Keep an eye on enrollment deadlines and upcoming course offerings. If you're thinking about joining the program, now is the perfect time to plan your next step and secure your spot. Spring quarter starts March 31st, so register now if you want to get started right away. If you are just getting started in the field of accounting, then that Principles of Financial Accounting course is a good one to begin with. But if you feel like you can handle it, Bill is teaching intermediate accounting 2 this spring, and you can see he is, of course, a superstar. It sounds like Nick will be in that class as well, so you can join some friendly faces in that course. And if you have any follow-up questions or need help deciding if this program is the right fit, don't hesitate to reach out. Whether it's about courses, schedules, or anything else, we're here to help make the process easy. So I appreciate you being with us today. A special thanks to our instructor, Bill Corrales, and our student, Nick B. We hope you'll join PACE for your accounting and finance journey. Whether you take one course or complete the full certificate, we're excited to support your journey, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Please reach out to us with any questions that come to mind as we end our time together today. You can see our contact information here, and you can just search the web for UCSB PACE Accounting and Finance to find us. Thank you all so much.